What's up, y'all? We had a cool,
Hey,
y'all, a cool conversation. One day I wish we could do like a musical thing, but I don't want them to think we unsaved and stuff. So
If they
right.
know what we're talking about, then they're in the same boat as we are.
oh please, they are. They're fine. They come on. They don't listen to straight gospel every single day and every single moment of the day. Come on. They ain't precious will take my hand all day.
Mm.
Welcome to another Fr3sh Friday. We are back this month. So glad that you can join us this month of July, as the old people say, July. I wonder why they always enunciate certain things. July, Monday, and just
Monday.
Monday. You never heard that before? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
People put an emphasis on like a word or something, like they're just like July. Like, don't
July.
you gotta just be just July.
Right. July.
No, it's not.
Oh man. Oh, let me just. Oh, my cheeks hurt. Okay, all right. It's like we going straight down the road. I'm like straight.
Straight. I'm gonna go straight down the road.
Straight down there. Hey y'all, welcome everybody. I love us. I still do. I love us, and I hope you do too.
Yes.
Please, please do us
This
a
is
favor.
what Fr3sh Friday gives.
Yeah, right. Oh, I love this. I love this conversation. We have so much fun together. It is very heartwarming, therapeutic, all in one. So welcome everybody to Fr3sh Friday. Again, thanks for joining us. Please share. Please don't forget this month, just some business to get out of the way. It's Bishop's anniversary this month. 30 years. We're celebrating on the fourth Sunday of the month. This is rare to have a pastor in one church for that long. Just one church. Most go somewhere else, and they're like, but we've been blessed to have one for all this time. So we want to celebrate them this month. Of course, you can always do as Maya just posted and do the hashtag, and you can give, of course, on all our websites, our website and all of our giving platforms. Sow into His life. We're asking for at least $100 from everybody. If you can do more, do more. If you can't, do the best that you can. We just want to show them a lot of love, a lot of appreciation. Pastor and folk, it's hard work. That's why
we love you, Bishop.
It's
Yes,
gone.
Bishop.
Yes, right. That's right. And we're going to show them love and show them appreciation. So we're going to do that. But you'll hear more about that in the Sundays and Wednesdays and all that good stuff to come as we roll out plans. All right. Let's get some controversy. Let's have some fun. Then we're going to have a conversation, and we're going to get out of here.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
One.
Now.
It's one has to go or three have to go?
No,
what? Three have to go.
You got to pick your favorite.
How about we can make it hard. You can only choose one to keep, or one has to go. To me, you can only keep one as the hardest one. Well, not. Yeah. Well, it's not hard. Yeah.
That's not hard. That's not hard.
There's only two on here I want.
Because honestly, I'll go first. You can get rid of the baked beans.
Absolutely.
You can absolutely get rid of that potato salad. Because potato salad is nasty.
I like potato salad, but only if it's warm. I don't like cold potato salad.
Ashley, you are a strange person.
I don't like cold potatoes.
Wait a minute. You don't like your dessert being mixed with ice cream and stuff.
Right.
But you
I don't like wet bread. I don't like wet bread.
But you like potato salad. But you like wet potatoes. Like
if they're warm, yeah.
Potato salad is disgusting. No matter who makes it, you gotta try mine. It's all nasty.
Listen,
I would on that.
Some good mac and cheese and deviled eggs. That's my hardest one. I love some good deviled eggs. I love good mac and cheese. Baked beans and potato salad can kick rocks. I don't like them. They can go.
I don't appreciate all this judgment because I like.
I'm gonna go with you with the baked beans, but I'm definitely going out of the four. The two that I'm going to choose would be mac and cheese and potato salad.
No, those are my two.
One. You're supposed to pick one.
Oh, we're supposed to pick one.
Yes.
That we want to eat or has to go.
The one we want to keep.
I'll keep mac and cheese.
Oh, it's easy. It's mac and cheese. If anyone else does mac and cheese, we're going to boot them off the line. I'm sorry.
Mac and cheese all day.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you can eat everyone's mac and cheese. Now,
So, okay, so let's look at it now. One has to go. If one has to go for me, potato salad's gone. Absolutely gone. Right, trash.
If one has to go for me, it's going to be baked beans. I don't get down with beans like that.
I like beans, but I don't like baked beans.
Wow, I don't like baked or
almost unanimous. Sorry, Maya and Kimmy, we just started dominating. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh gosh.
It definitely comes down to baked beans and potato salad.
Have to go or you're keeping them?
I think the potato salad needs to go.
Right, Kevin.
We agree.
Kevin.
Look at how God works.
Right.
In mysterious ways.
Right.
Ashley, we see each other.
We here.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of potato salad either, but I mean, to lose baked beans though, I'm not a fan of baked beans really either.
Come on, break the tie, Kimmy. Come on, show us what side you're going on. Come on.
Okay, man, I wouldn't eat neither of them. So I just have to pick one that I would just let sit there.
Now she tried to cop out. Or nope. You gotta pick one. Which one?
You know what? If I had to eat it, I'd probably go with baked beans. So I'm gonna leave that potato salad.
Mm-hmm. So the baked
I can get with that.
Yeah.
Get this thing off the screen, please.
Why?
I'm mad you're mad because I don't like cold potatoes. Like, that's crazy. I like potatoes. I just eat it up.
Not warm.
It starts off warm and then it comes down anyway. Like, in order to make it, I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah, so it just shows that baked beans have to go. I'm sorry, Maya and Pastor Nick. I'm glad you guys were able to agree on something tonight, but it was the wrong thing to agree on. So the baked beans have to go.
Yeah, they gotta go.
Okay, let's move on because I remember y'all really like potato salad as much, right?
No, I mean I don't like potato salad more than I like mac and cheese.
Oh no! I'm not saying.
I'm talking like, but you have to have potato salad at a barbecue. You're one of those people.
I don't have to have it, but if it's there, I'll eat it.
Wow, that was a lot of aggression. I don't have to have it.
Yeah, I don't have to have it. It's not like, oh, we have gone to the barbecue. Where's the potato salad at? No.
That's what I say about people when they're great. That's what I say.
But if it's there and the right person made it, I will eat it.
That's what's key. The right person has to make it.
Yeah, because now they're putting all types of stuff in potato salad. They put raisins and grapes and all types of random. Just
and you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Ashley, because it also depends on the cook too. Because if you know someone that cannot cook and they make a certain dish, please skip over that dish. Don't even upset your stomach or upset your attitude.
No matter how they make it, potato salad still not good. So.
You are so hung.
Whether they put mustard in it or mayonnaise, however they make it. It's yellow potato salad or white potato salad. I'm just
really trying to understand who hurt you in your childhood.
Yes,
because you have all this aggression built up against potato salad.
Just tell us all about it.
People talk about it like it's like this. I gotta have it. It's potato salad. It's gotta have potato salad. And I'm like, no, we don't. We're fine without it.
See, I told y'all that's how y'all be with the grits.
That is how y'all are with the grits, and I can live without grits. I can live without it. I'm okay without it.
I haven't had grits in a long time, but some good grits will bless your soul though.
See, look. See, now he about to go to another spot. Look, got the hand up. See, oh Lord, now
bye.
Oh, he is speaking. Oh Lord,
in worship over grit.
Yes,
over grits.
Over grits.
I grew up on grits, like Kevin grew up on croissants. I grew up on grits. So.
Touche.
Let's start this topic, y'all. Let's go. So, we got an interesting topic. It probably blended into some other stuff, but we all grew up in church. The 5 of us did from young. I've been in church since I was born. I don't know, same with y'all. There was a little brief season when, we probably went a couple months outside of church, but then I've been in church all my life. I'm a church kid. I'm not a thug. I could never be one. I'm a church kid. Just who I am, but it always made me wonder, looking at those who were in youth ministry with me and how many of them are still in church now, or were in church, then left church and kind of was living out there for a while, then came back around like their 30s, 40s. Because a lot of people do that. They leave, stop coming to church around 18, around 35, close to 40. When life done ran them through, they kind of start making their way back to Jesus. I can see some put it this way. I can see how in some situations, if your church experience was dry, let's be real, dry, it was boring, it was nothing for the kids to do, it wasn't really no Holy Ghost movement. It's hard to be excited about something that you don't like going to, but you have to go to every Sunday. And if you have a parent that after service is over has to stay and talk for a half hour, for 45 minutes,
2 hours,
2 hours, and you're sitting like, I'm hungry, I got homework, can we go home? And they're sitting there, shut up. And or you have morning service, afternoon service, dinner, then evening service, and you kind of get tired. You're there Monday through Friday. You wish you had a life. Some people had that kind of experience growing up in church. We're in church all the time. You come to church twice a week. Some of us was in church every single day.
Every day.
Choir rehearsal this day, usher practice this day, prayer meeting this day. And sometimes you wonder how we made it over. I think it's just part of it is the divine call of God, the purpose of God that kept us, even when we had our seasons of growing up and acting crazy. Something about this pull that we had to stick with it. But with that thought, because I really feel bad for those who, grew up in church and kind of talk bad about it because they feel like it wasn't beneficial for them. It was boring. And, I pray for them a lot for God to bring them back home. But those are just my thoughts. I would just kind of throw it out there for anybody to jump in and share. It looked like Ashley felt every word, every piece of what I was talking about.
Because listen. But see, here's the thing. I was in church every day growing up, but I was at a church that didn't feed you. So like,
yes,
that was the more frustrating part. I ain't mind being in church all day, but give me breakfast, lunch, and dinner if I'm gonna be here all day. I'm not trying to be at church as a 6-year-old and you put me through a fast every week on a Sunday because you don't want to feed us because we here all day. No. If you fed me, I probably would have been like, yeah, sure, church is great. Church is wonderful. This is fun. But I think more so, personally, I have stayed because, now at the age that I'm at now, I have a different relationship with God. But I've also had the pleasure of seeing God move in the people that I love's lives growing up. So watching how my grandmother's relationship with God was and how she was faithful in her routine every single week with what she did. And as I got older, understanding the reasons behind that, like up until my grandmother passed, she would still say her night prayers before she laid her head down to go to sleep, like faithfully. Those things that I'm like, okay, this is really like more so than just a lifestyle, but this is a real relationship, and it's really God that has gotten the closest people in my life, my family, over, and a lot of great things and some hard things has gotten them over. And so for me, it was like there was no other choice. I cannot do life without God. It's not an option. It's not like, why would I ever walk away from this? As frustrated as I get sometimes, because y'all know, okay, God's working on me. We square up with God at least once a week sometimes, because sometimes I'm upset. But as frustrated as I might get with different places in my life, I know that He is necessary for me to even just be able to inhale and exhale. And as long as I understand that he will always be greater than I can't do this alone. I can't turn my back on him. Like, that would be crazy for me to do.
Yeah. I think that's the greatest lesson as being, I guess you can say, a church kid or someone that grew up in church, because like Bishop and Pastor Nick always say, like, you have to go to a church that's going to teach you. I feel like those kids that grew up in church that, went astray and they're not in church or talk back on church now, is because they went to a church that didn't teach them anything. I just know that from personal experience, because my mom, my sister, and I, we started off in a small church, and at that time I just knew what church was, but I didn't really understand what a relationship with Christ was and what God, all that it felt, until we came to Bethany, and we were doing something all the time, new members class, doing all the initiatives, Bible study, just being faithful. And I didn't at that moment understand what my mom was instilling to me until it took me to, like, go to college and actually experience life and go through some things and be like, hold up now, like I need to get back in this relationship with Christ. And I started to go to church by myself. I feel like sometimes we fall in that trap of just going to church because our parents say go to church, or, oh, I better just see you at church. Are you actually, like, listening and applying it to your life? So I think being able to go to a church that's actually teaching you how to apply those things, and that's why God never leaves you, or you never feel, even though you may have those seasons of, like Pastor Nick said, have your wild out seasons or something like that, God is there, and you can always come back and just start that relationship again. So I feel like those kids, I don't know why I want to say students, but those people that grew up in church, but, like, are away from church now and don't really have that connection with guys because they went to a dry non-teaching church. Because there's a lot of them.
Yeah. No, I agree with you guys. I definitely think that experience can serve as a catalyst into having a deeper relationship with God. But one of the things that I appreciate about Bethany is that things are broken down, that even if you're like 8, you can still understand it. My parents, of course, I went to church every Sunday because they went, but they didn't force me to, go get saved or to walk up the aisle or go to youth church. Like, I went to church with them. And, I was listening, and then eventually I on my own made the decision, okay, I want to give my life to Christ. But all that to say, Bishop, like, he gave out, the message in a way that was easy to understand no matter what your level was. And I think that definitely plays a part in things too. If you're able to just have a conversation and say, look, this is it, instead of putting all the fancy words and the hoops and the hollers and, all the things that people do to make it fancy, but just having that conversation.
Yeah, I think when you grow up in the church, around your 20s, it can become a little tedious if you're not engaged. And if you grow up in the church, sometimes you're not fully understanding why you're there. It's just something your family does on Sunday.
Yeah.
And until you figure out why you're going, why Sunday is a consecrated day, you don't understand why we do communion, why we go Sunday morning, why we have prayer service. I mean, some of those Power of God services when I was in grade school, and I had to stay up
late night,
Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. I was like, I have homework to do.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's just one of 12th grader things. I got homework.
Summertime, Kimmy.
Oh, that's June.
It's usually last week of June, so it's like your last week of school. But
she didn't have no homework. Just like,
but I know kids.
I feel you, Kimmy. I feel you.
I know kids grow up in church. They did their homework in church because their parents were there. They had them doing their homework.
Whole backpack coming to service. What a backpack.
Go sit in the corner. Go use the chair as a desk.
Yeah.
Right.
It was real. And then when I got to college, I was like, I could be doing so much more with my Sunday. You know? And of course, I was still living at home. So I had parents who were like, you need to go to church. I haven't seen you in church this Sunday, because they wouldn't take me, of course. I would have to go on my own because I had my own car. But, you know, eventually, once I started thinking about, well, why do we call ourselves Christians? Why did Christ die for us? You know, and really start thinking about these things analytically, and then graduating to the spiritual level and actually coming into relationship with Christ, then I understood. And then Sundays at church became more meaningful, you know? So.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's it's allowing us to go through that process. And our generation was different. So, you know, we learned, we did both. Nowadays, it's parents is like, you have your kids in church, but also school's important too.
Yeah.
Teaching them the balance of both, where they can love God and be able to have a life with school and everything at the same time. Because depending on what church you went to, I know some real deep, I won't say deep, sorry, some real strict holiness type churches. The kids couldn't go to their proms. They couldn't do, and then when they turned 20 and went to college, they went crazy because they just couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
They couldn't go to the movies. They couldn't hang out. But, you know, a lot of us are privileged to be able to grow up. And, you know, I liked going to church, even during the course of the week. It's what I did. A lot of my friends were at church, so I get to come and enjoy. And that's one of the things that I think this generation is missing. We got so much in technology that those close, one of the best things about going to church with your kids, your friends were there too.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, community, you're sitting in front of the church and talking and cutting up and, you know, having fun. But what made it good was there was the word of God, there was the spirit of God, and it was the community too.
Yeah.
And the old folk watched over you. How you doing? You know, it felt like a community.
Yeah.
And the church should not lose that in our quest to be innovative and, you know, technology driven, where we miss that we're supposed to be communal. I'm learning with this generation, especially like when I'm talking to about like sexual stuff or whatever, I don't go to the spiritual first and say, well, God tells you not to do it because it's right. I talk about the psychological effects, the emotional effects, the physical effects of their decisions, whatever it is, and then tie it into the spiritual after. Because just telling them God don't want you to do it, it's a sin, is not working.
That's not. It's honestly, it does the opposite. It makes them like it makes them want to try. Like, okay, let me see, because it's not.
I'm gonna see for myself. Yes.
Right. I'm gonna see for myself. You're not connecting where they're understanding. You may talk about, people may try to, you know, teach in the spiritual, but their understanding may be down here where you're trying to teach them where they're up here, and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. Because I mean, it didn't really work for some of us. And I remember somebody told me, you know, don't you sin, because if you sin and Jesus comes back and catches you in your sin, you don't get left behind. But that was a way of trying to get you to behave out of fear, rather than, watch this, something I tweeted today, serving God out of love.
Yeah.
Teach us how to love God, because if you love him more, you'll obey him more.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, rather than just this rigid, don't do this, do this. You rebel against it. But sometimes you rebel against love too.
But I think growing up, it's easier for kids to, I don't want to say like be irritated at going to church like that, because you know you're raising your parents, make you go, all that kind of stuff. But I know for me, when I went away to school and I went to college, that was my first indicator that, like, okay, I need to find a church home away from home. I need this still, because I was like, these people are crazy on this campus. And part of you is like, I mean, they say, you know, train a child, you know, when they're young, when they grow old, you know, they won't depart from it. And that's a very true thing. It's like, you start to feel convicted being in certain situations and around certain people and certain kinds of personalities, and you're like, okay, y'all are a little too, I mean, I'm all here for having fun, but y'all are wilding out a little too much for me. I need to go repent just for being around you. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Like it became very apparent to me that church, God needed to be a staple, especially with me being away from home. I think when I'm around my mom and I'm just like, okay, up underneath my mom, because my mom safe. I tell her this all the time, like, oh, you so churchy. Mm-hmm. But being up underneath of her, it's like you almost feel protected because of how close she is to God. Mm-hmm. So for living further away from, her and my dad, it's like, yeah, no, I need a covering. Like that was my indicator. Like, I need this. Like, I definitely need this.
Yeah. I just think that with this generation, like you said, Pastor Nick, like why there's like such a disconnect from them with church, I think is that community aspect, because so many churches are moving technology based, and technology gets in a way where you don't have that, where you're going on the church picnics and stuff like that. And, that sense of community is not there. And that's what really, sets people back from being faithful in church and being faithful in your relationship with Christ. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's just what I see.
I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
I was going to say, everyone wants to feel like they belong, and that there's a place that is for me where I can be loved and where I can be accepted. And for me, that's what church is. That's what Bethany is, where we can accept you. We don't have to like everything because we're all, on different walking planes of life. Mm-hmm. But I see you, and to be able to have that community with each other. Bethany is a bigger sized church, but it doesn't feel like that. At least not, because we have those communities within. So,
yeah, I think it's that pendulum shift. It was like church, especially in the Black community, church was all we had for years. So our parents and our grandparents, they didn't have much outside of work and church. So that's what they did. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden these options started opening up for us. And then we started going towards all the options and discarded this rather than learning how to have this and this at the same time. So that's why, like, some people used to say, well, how come we don't have like prayer before service starts and, whatever. We leave that space open for people to talk and fellowship. And then by the time 8 o'clock hits, 11 o'clock hit, service starts. Mm-hmm. Like our teen service, we would like start and have the kids before service start talk to each other, interact with each other, because that's sometimes the only day they'll see each other. They got football this day, they got this on this day. They're not coming out like they used to. Like we had Friday nights was youth night, and that's where everybody came. It's not the kind of generation like that. So you make space for community. You have to be intentional about it for people to connect with each other on top of everything else. Yeah. But I think, with like everything, church clothes was suits, shirts, ties all the time. Women dressed all the way down to their ankles. They're showing everything, revealing everything, rather than finding the middle ground.
Yeah.
To answer to being too strict is to be just totally open. And it's like, that's not the answer. It's middle ground.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but what I do love about, like, especially the millennial group is that, no matter where we are, you play a church song that we all know. It's like, you ever see like those TikToks or those videos, like people could be at like a basketball game. They could be anywhere. You play like one of those Kurt Franklin songs that all the grew up on or something like that. And it's like a full blown out church service. Like I just love that sense of like that community, the millennial standpoint, because like that's no matter where you're with the church. Like you heard those, like we were saying earlier, like in the 90s, everybody loved Hezekiah Walker. So like that's like what I feel like is missing. Like you don't, just like the young generation be like, what is this?
Yeah. Like, it's such a big part of our childhood to be able to hear those and singing it in choir.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that again, that high tech has hurt us in touch wise.
Yeah.
And I'm all for technology, but the more technical we're becoming, like all the metaverse and all the stuff like that, you're going to actually start seeing a bigger rise in mental illness, emotional issues, and even the pandemic and all the quarantining, which I'm for staying away from some people. I know folk that got COVID going out places and doing stuff. So I'm like, no, I don't trust people. Sorry, I don't trust them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They be like, oh well. I'm like, no. But anyway, look, you think I'm playing? The psychological effects of all this comes out too.
Mm-hmm.
We're built to be in communion with people.
Yeah.
Lack of that can have an adverse effect.
Yeah.
That's very true.
So, I think, soon, when things get better and we start opening back up again, start creating those communities, that's always a big, huge part of what we do. But yeah, I think that's what keeps young people in church. It's a mix of everything. God doing this thing and community. Because I don't think we think that community with each other and living community with each other is worship. It's actually worship.
Mm-hmm.
It's showing love to God by loving each other.
Yeah.
But to take that away, you're actually disconnecting a piece of your worship. Like, because a big part of worship is how we treat each other.
Yeah.
And people don't know that. They don't think of it like that. They just think worship just coming and screaming when you hear your favorite song being sung in church. Like it's different levels to it.
And as soon as Jesus' name, amen. Hey y'all, see you later. Bye.
Oh, yeah, like no.
Bye.
I
gotta get out of here. I'm gonna get caught.
Look,
in traffic.
And don't let it be a football Sunday. They're gonna be like, how long Pastor gonna be preaching today?
All right.
Come on, Pastor. How long? Go ahead. Come on. Oh my God.
I know. But we're gonna get out of here. But we encourage all of you to stick with God, trust his hand on your life. Mm-hmm. And some of us, we didn't leave church and cut the fool. We was cutting the fool while still coming to church.
Well,
say that, Pastor. Say that.
What?
Yeah, you hear that touched something?
Come on,
right.
For the vocals.
I'm just saying that's the truth.
For the vocals.
Yeah. Some folks, they leave and come back. Some folks stay in and
listen,
have their little season. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that what I'm saying is you can be the younger brother leaving the father's house, or you can be the oldest brother being lost in the house, and that is possible also.
Now that part right there,
that's good.
That is good.
Yeah, that was good.
You're gonna be in the house and still be lost. Now, see.
So I don't think we should think one's superior than the other, because come on now, those of us that grew up in church, everybody had a little season, a little moment where you look back on and said, I should have been a little wiser during that time.
Some people, I was gonna say, some people still in that season.
They're in the series.
Okay.
The finale here yet?
Some people are in season 6 of their life. Okay.
Yeah. It shouldn't take for us to get older and look back and say, I should be doing this, I should have did better, which we all do to a certain degree. But you want to minimize what they used to call the shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
Absolutely.
Where you're not 50 years old wishing you would have start serving God earlier. Because
Yeah.
looking back, if I could talk to my younger self, look, avoid this, don't do this, get serious with God earlier, do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Look, some people be like, I wouldn't go back and change a thing.
I mean, I get that too, because I mean, if you change something, you wouldn't be the person that you are right now.
But you could become that way a different way.
You could.
I think like this, God gives you paths, right?
Yeah.
You can either become it this way, the easier way. You can come it through. He's gonna bring you back around to it. And there are times where I'm like, I could have got here easier than the way that I chose.
Right.
Yeah.
So there are some things I would definitely change. I don't know how my life would be different. It's almost like, it's like this. When you're in a season, you're not praying like you're supposed to, God will allow a harsh season to come in to get you praying more.
Yeah.
And some of us, the harsh season taught us how to pray. But was that God's preferred way?
Right.
No, but I get both sides. But there are some things.
God will humble you quick.
I'm trying to tell you
real quick.
Lord,
Real quick.
Is that's why you be battling with every week, Ashley?
Every week. Every week. It's like you just
I'm gonna start calling you Creed.
Like I want to square up. Like I don't really want to square up because I know I'm gonna lose that fight. But I'm just telling you how I feel right now. Like it's just one of those things.
Keep it real. But I think that's also important is that we're able to keep it real and say that we have these emotions, we have these thoughts. And sometimes people don't want to do that. They just want to put the Band-Aid on. Oh, God's good, bless highly favored, all that stuff. But they're negating all the other baggage, for lack of better words, that is there.
Sometimes they're misinterpreting the teaching of praying and spiritual things as that's the thing that's going to help. And you can pray and you can petition to God, and there's nothing that's too hard for our God to do, but there's some work that has to be put in. There's work that has to be put in, and you have to be willing to do it as well.
Carry our responsibility. Yeah.
I heard a preacher say years ago, when at the times we need to get disciplined, we get spiritual. Instead of being disciplined, we start getting deep. And you're right, Kimmy. We start leaning on quick fixes and think that's going to fix it, and then mad when it doesn't work out. When change is a process, growth is a process, and it takes time.
Long suffering is a real thing.
Yeah. All right. Maya, you can throw the last one up. We'll get out of here.
All right, this is gonna be a tough one.
This is easy for me. Well, no, one part is easy. So what you have to do, you have to pick one from each row. Now, the third row is not fair. They should have moved some of these third rows out.
Oh my God.
Third row is not fair at all.
It's not fair. Like they should have put Civil War in somewhere else. Like the first, like number one.
Oh, hold up. This is going out with a bang.
Yeah, I know mine already. You can only pick one from each row.
I can't.
Oh wow.
This is really bad.
Well, while y'all think, I saw this already, so I'll go with mine. The first row, as hard as this is, because I actually liked the Batman. It was long, but I liked it. I would go with Iron Man first in the first one. The second one is Infinity War. Infinity War is the greatest comic book movie ever. I mean, absolutely. Infinity War, that's easy. The third one is the hard one. Because it's between, but honestly, I would take Dark Knight on the third one because Dark Knight and Infinity Wars are the best comic book movies that I've ever seen. And the fourth one, I'll go with Logan. Yeah, so Iron Man, Infinity War, Dark Knight, and Logan. Those are my top four. Actually, they're in my top 5 of all comic book movies. Then Civil War's like in there too, but those are my 2.
This is hard. This is hard. This is hard because
It's so hard.
Someone else go.
I would have to agree with you for the first row, Pastor Nick. I would choose Iron Man.
That started it all. Yeah.
Then Infinity War. The third row, I would say, hold on, because y'all, I'm on the phone, so it's tiny.
It's Civil War, Endgame, Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, and Dark Knight.
I'm gonna say Endgame just because I'm not a huge fan of Batman in general. Like he's not one of my top superheroes. And what's the bottom row?
It's Watchmen, Guardians of the Galaxy, Logan, and X-Men First Class.
I'm gonna say Guardians of the Galaxy.
All right.
Those are my 4.
I think so. I am definitely going to go with. I'm definitely going to go with Iron Man first row, because like Pastor Nick said, that started it all. I'm a Marvel fan all day long. Second row for me is hard. It's between Spider-Man and Avengers because this new Spider-Man, Maya, is coming on Stars for free.
I know. I watched it on HBO.
Yeah, I forgot. They did a great job with that.
You mean the last one?
It's really good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All 3 of them.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, well, if they didn't see it by now,
but that's not a spoiler. They showed that on They showed it on
right, and they've been doing interviews together, so all 3 of the Spider-Mans is in there.
You put No Way Home over Avengers, Infinity War?
I'm like in between them. I'm in between. I am like, this
Wow.
makes me want to watch it tonight.
That's interesting.
This is hard.
I get you. I get what you're saying. Go ahead.
This is hard.
Because how they did the last Spider-Man was so brilliant. I didn't know how they would bring them all together and just like it. After all the Avengers, I didn't know how Marvel was going to continue on. Like, and they did such a great job with this Spider-Man installment. So I'm just going to go with Avengers because that's all of them. But Spider-Man is still there. Now, same thing for the third row for me because I grew up on Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. So that hits home for me. I would definitely go with Endgame because it's Avengers. And then the last one, I would go with Logan because Logan was a really, really good. Now, if you had X-Men Evolution, the series up here, I would have chose that because I love Evolution. Yeah, it was a TV show. It was a series instead of just a movie. It was a series. I love.
When did that come out? That's not the cartoon version, is it?
Yes.
You mean the old 90s one?
No, not the old 90s. Wait, was it 90s?
I think it was.
Was it 90s?
The one that we grew up on that was like in the mid 90s, like early mid 90s.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because they had Gambit and all them in that one.
Yes,
my guy. That's my guy. I love Gambit.
Yes. Now that if they had that up there, I would have chosen that. But
this is the original cartoon. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That because I love X-Men.
No. This is an original cartoon. There's one before this one. There's one before Evolution. I never seen Evolution.
Evolution's really good. I love Evolution. So, but I love X-Men, but I have to go with Logan. Logan held it down for me. This is hard.
Yeah, this is a really, 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 really tough one.
This is hard.
Especially this first row.
Go ahead and pick Superman first. Come on.
I am the world's biggest Superman fan. I love Superman.
Oh, okay.
My favorite. So I want to pick Man of Steel. But Spider-Man was also very good.
That one was good.
It was epic. But then I also really, really enjoyed the Batman movie too.
The Batman was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was.
And even like the cinematography of it all, was just beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna have to go with the Batman. I think I'm gonna go there. Second row, Spider-Man No Way Home. Third row, I will go with Endgame. But Civil War was really good too.
Civil War
was good. Now that was good. Seeing them battle each other, that was good.
I think
Civil War is better than Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't think I saw Logan.
Logan was good.
You gotta watch it. It's good.
I have to
It's
watch
good.
That was so
But
good.
of what I've seen, I think I'm going to pick Watchmen because, again, the cinematography of that and the color grading. I'm nerdy over these things, so I'm going to pick Watchmen.
Wait, the top one, the Batman, that's the newest one, right?
That's the newest one.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So good.
Mm-hmm. Now you rethink, don't you?
I'm just not a Batman. He's not my guy.
But this new one was really good.
He was more human. And more relatable, and it was really good.
It
was younger. Mm-hmm.
The best thing about all the Batman movies is Alfred.
Good voice.
I told myself I was going to start walking like Catwoman for like the next month, but
come on.
Come on, Kimmy.
We're about to have,
your friend has delusions of grandeur.
It's about to be another type of conversation, so please get us off the screen.
Okay, so first row, I'm a huge Batman fan. So, and I loved the last one.
Yeah,
Riddler, excellent, iconic. So I'm going to go with the Batman. Second row, Spider-Man, No Way Home. I like how they meshed everything together.
I'm just saying it like that.
The multiverse really makes sense.
Spider-Man, they all bring something different.
To see like the humanity behind the villains too, I think, was really good because it allowed you to see things in a different light.
Right. Third row for me, easy. Dark Knight. I love that movie. My favorite movie. And then fourth row, Watchmen.
Watchmen was an underrated good movie.
Yeah,
a lot of people. It was weird, but a lot of people couldn't get with it. But it was actually pretty interesting.
This is a good one.
Yeah,
this is like the hardest one we've ever done.
This is really hard. Yeah.
See, Infinity War always, to me, is the best one. Thanos was just he's one of the best movie villains. I mean, I was in the whole movie. Endgame, I kind of lulled at certain points, but Infinity War just hit you from beginning
because
to end.
He was a true villain. He just did not care. Like
it was dope. It was dope.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We've been on for a long time. This is actually pretty cool. Tell us what you feel in the comments, and we'll see you all later. God bless y'all, and we'll talk to y'all soon. See you on Sunday. Bye.